All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we got some green, yellow Trafalgar Law action lined up for you. That's right. It's been a while since I've been able to sit down and play this leader. In fact, this will be my first time revisiting this leader since we've gotten access to the new starter deck cards on the sim. Okay, so that's what we're going to be getting into in today's video. As usual, you know, we got a pretty standard lineup for today. We're going to check out the deck list first, and then we're going to head over to the sim. We got 3 games to go over on the sim today, and then after that, we're going to recap, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the leader moving forward. Okay, let's do this. Let's get right into it. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that down in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. We got quite a bit to talk about here. You know, I've been doing this a lot lately. Wait till y'all see the list, guys. There's a certain card that's not in here that I just want to add immediately, but I'll explain in a minute. I was talking about Hody Jones. Notice there's no Hody Jones in this list. I went back to Eustace Captain Kidd, but I think Hody Jones is just better. I'll talk more about that as we're going through the games today, and I'll, you know, especially during the recap at the end. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the deck list first, guys. We're going to start off with the leader. Trafalgar Law is a 5,000 power, 4-life, green-yellow leader with Heart Pirates, Supernova, and Dressrosa type. And the effect is Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. If the total cost of your characters is 5 or more, you can return one of your characters to the hand and then reveal the top card of your life. And if that card is a Supernova type character card with a cost of 5 or less, you can play it. Let me say this up front as well. If you're a newer player and you're trying to get into green-yellow Trafalgar Law, number one, you have very good taste. This is a great leader, very fun leader to get into, and I highly recommend it. However, we're going to be going through all these cards pretty quickly, and I'm going to mouse over them as we go over them, so be sure to pause and read them if you don't know what they do, okay? And I have an entire playlist of green-yellow Trafalgar Law videos at this point for you to get caught up on if you are a newer player. I will have that linked in the comment section below. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get through the list real quick, and then we'll kind of talk about it. Okay, so there's the leader. We're running 2 Jory Bonnies. We're running 4 Kid and Killer, 4 Cavendish, 4 of the... I'm back to 4 of the Blocker Law, guys. The Bounce Law. And then we have 4 of the Jory Bonnie, 2 of Trafalgar Law, the Restand Law, 2 of the new 2K Counter X-Drake. We're at 2 Eustace Captain Kidd, 4 of the 2K Counter Beige, 4 of the Searcher Luffy, 4 of the Blocker Beige, 4 of the Jory Bonnie, the Blocker Jory Bonnie, 4 of the 2K Counter X-Drake, 4 of the 7-cost Trafalgar Law, and then 2 of Gum Gum, I think it's called Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. So the list probably looks a little bit different than the last time you guys saw my, saw a Green Yellow Law video from me. For the longest time, I was kind of experimenting with the idea of getting rid of Eustace Captain Kidd and just going a little bit more aggressively. A little bit more aggressive with the list. But, you know, now that we have this Kid and Killer card, and we also have a really nice blocker. Let me bring up all the cards from, I think it's from ST24. Let me see something. Yeah. We got some pretty good stuff in this list for Green Yellow Law, and I think this card's probably worth considering, especially now that we have, or now that I am messing around with Eustace Captain Kidd again. It's a good card to just cheat out and draw a card, trash a card. And it will pretty much always work with Eustace Captain Kidd, right? Because this card on play, if you have 6 or more rested cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. So you're going to be able to cheat that out with the Captain Kidd, draw a card, trash a card, because you're going to have it, 8 Dawn rested. So even if you have Cavendish, you'll still have 6 Dawn rested, right? Even after attacking with Cavendish. So it's kind of perfect for running with Eustace Captain Kidd. So we might have to consider running this card soon. We'll have to see. I just don't know how defensive I want to go with the deck. And like I said, we're not... Hody Jones is not in this list. And I think I really do want to add that card back in, and if that's the case, I might even go down to just 1 of these Eustace Captain Kidds, and maybe even go down to go -1, maybe even of the Searcher Bonnie, because now that we do have access to Kid and Killer, the ST24 Searcher, this card's incredible, right? I mean, this is kind of what we really needed. Yes, Bonnie is still a good, backup Searcher, of course, but I think now that we have 4 Kid and Killers and 4 Monkey D. Luffy, seems good, right? But I will say Bonnie is nice, though, still. It's kind of like... It's almost like we're running, 6 of the Monkey D. Luffy where we can play this out on turn 1, or it's like we're running 6 Kid and Killer where we can pay 2 fully to get the full, value from our Cavendish, right? It's one of those situations where it is a very nice filler card, I have to say. So we're probably going to keep Bonnie around, but I would like to add Hody Jones to the list at some point. We'll talk about that more as we're going through the video. But everything else feels very strong, and it's most of the cards you see here are cards that have been in the list for some time, right? Like, I think Cavendish, we're all used to this card by now, and hey, last time I did a green-yellow Law video, they did not even announce the reprints for this card. Now we know the card will be reprinted, so the price should go down. Big thumbs up on that. That's awesome to see that Bandai's doing that, and they're also going to be reprinting the 7-cost 9K Secret Law. Again, just, you know, prices dropping across the board. You love to see it. Okay. So Cavendish, you know, we know about that. Trafalgar Law, this is a card that I battled with for for a long time, because I really did not like this card when the only super strong target we had access to was this one Monkey D. Luffy. Now we have access to more cards. Like I said, if we choose to incorporate this Capone Gang Beige, we have access to that card. But, you know, before we only had Luffy. But now we have access to Kid and Killer as well. All of a sudden, this card is very, very worth it, right? Because again, if you don't see your Luffys in a game, but you see your Law, what are you bouncing back exactly? Yes, there are targets. There's things you can bounce back. I'm not saying there's nothing, but it really does become a headache. Like, okay, what do I want to bounce back to my hand? What will be good enough to replay again next turn? The Beige was always a decent option, but it was really just the Luffy. But now that we have Kid and Killer, and we still have the Beige, of course, and the Luffy, I think this 5-cost bounce Trafalgar Law is incredible. Okay, I'm running 4 of the Bonnie because this card as well. I don't like to overuse words, but I have to use the word incredible many, many times here because that's what this card is too. Being able to play this card out and either lock down Dawn if I'm going against a blue-purple, you know, Luffy or something like that, or lock down a massive character that I don't want to deal with right now, the card is just so good. And it's a 1K counter, and it's searchable. It's Supernova searchable. So it kind of, this really is an outstanding card. This Droid Bonnie is just really nice for what we're trying to do. Restand Law, I mean, you can win games with this card so often, right? It's one of those cards that can just win you games, right? It can just straight up win you games. Really good stuff here. The new 2K counter X-Drake, this is nice because it's kind of just like it's like the yellow 3-cost X-Drake, but 2.0, right? This is a 3-cost 3K with a 2K counter. This is a 5-cost 5K with a 2K counter. This can rest down a 4 or less if you have less life than your opponent. This can just rest down a 5 as long as your leader is Supernova, which ours is, of course, right? And then this one stands up a Dawn at the end of the turn. So I will say I might consider going down to 3 of the yellow X-Drake when everything's said and done to go up to 3 of the green X-Drake. We'll have to see, though. Okay, we already talked about Eustace Captain Kidd. We all know what Beige does. This card's just a nice utility 2K counter for the deck. Searcher Luffy. This 2-cost blocker Beige, incredible. This blocker Bonnie sets up so many tricks early on, and it's a nice card to cheat out with the Eustace Captain Kidd, which is like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it does make sense to at least run 1 or 2 Eustace Captain Kidds because there's so much synergy throughout the deck. Because even if you're just cheating out a 2-cost Kid and Killer, you're still getting value from it, right? You're developing a body on the board, and you're doing a top search, and you're developing this insane, you know, body for them to get around. So really good, you know, it is, you know, after thinking about it, I try to talk myself out of running Eustace Captain Kidd. I just don't think you can get away with running green-yellow Trafalgar Law like this without running at least 1 Eustace Captain Kidd. There's just too much, you know, built-in synergy, even if we're not trying to make the deck super defensive. Okay, then we have, so we have Droid Bonnie, we talked about the X-Drake, and then there's the 7-cost Law. This 7-cost Trafalgar Law, one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card in the game as far as what it does. It's a 7-cost, 9,000 power body. That's vanilla stats, okay? And then, yeah, it doesn't have a counter, and it's yellow, and it doesn't have a trigger, but it does have on play, reveal a Supernova type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life cards face down. Then if your leader has Supernova type, give up to one of your Rested Dawn card to your leader. Just incredible, right? We play this card out. We get to our leader gets to swing for 6 in the process, and we set up the top card what we need for our leader's effect, and then we just return something back with our leader's effect, like the Kid and Killer or the Luffy, to play out the card we just put there with Law. It's just too perfect for the deck. This is probably like one of, if not my favorite cards in the game, but in this deck, it's easily like my favorite card in the deck. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm running this Gum Gum. Again, I think it's called Gum Gum Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. just an incredible event. There I go with that incredible word again, right? Just an amazing event, guys. One cost 3k for your leader when needed, and then it has a main to rest 3 Dawn, so 4 Dawn altogether, to KO a 5 or less, and it's based on original cost. Just a very nice utility 3k counter for the leader. Unfortunately, it has one downside, and it's not searchable in this list. That is not a Straw Hat Supernova type card. It's just a Straw Hat type card. So that's the one weak point of it. And who knows, in this list, I will say this. There's another card from, I think it's from OP11. I think it is from OP11. Yeah, I was going to say, this Gum Gum Elephant Gatling might actually be a slightly better card for the deck, as crazy as that sounds. Now, yes, a card like Red Hawk can help you get rid of really pesky cards against, like, Green-Purple Luffy, like the 5-cost Sanji and Pudding. But this this Gum Gum Elephant Gatling, this only costs 2, and that goes so perfectly with Cavendish. So think about it like this. So it's pay 1, and then main, you may rest 1 of your Dawn. So pay 2, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Excuse me. This card is just so nice, right? It just lets us get around all the annoying cards out there that are blockers, and it's still a 1 cost 3k, and in this case it is a Supernova searchable card, so we can search it up with all 10 of our searchers and all that good stuff, and they're both 1 cost 3ks at the end of the day, right? And there is one more card I want to mention. This one's also Straw Hat. It's not Supernova as well. It's just a Straw Hat card, but in OP12 we get access to a Dead Man's Game for green. And this card's really nice. This card probably just takes the place of both things I'm talking about, because, I mean, you know, whether you know, how do I say this? Red Hawk is a little different because it gets rid of like very specific cards, like 5-cost cards that are a nuisance. However, this Dead Man's Game is a 4-cost Hody Jones effect, which can help you close out games so quickly. And with it being 4 Dawn, you can still combo it perfectly with Cavendish, right? It costs 1 plus 3 to do the main effect, and then it rests down 2 characters or Dawn. So you tap down their entire, you know, whatever, their 2 blockers or their 2 Dawn or a blocker and a Dawn, whatever. You attack in for 7 or however much you need to with Cavendish. You stand up 2 of the Dawn, and it ends up being just 2 with this deck when you do have Cavendish on the board. That's something we're going to have to really consider for OP12. Speaking of OP12, I am going to run through some of these cards real quick. I think I've seen some lists from the East that are running Perona. I get it, but I don't know how much I love this, because it searches up slash characters. We'll take a look at the list, guys. There's a lot of slash characters that matter in this deck. First of all, Kid and Killer is a slash character, right? This Kid and Killer Searcher is a slash character. It's a slash and special character, right, for the attribute. For the newer players out there, what am I talking about? The attribute is in the top right corner, okay? So this is a slash character. Cavendish is a slash character. You know, Trafalgar Law's slash. Now, Bonnie is not, but at that point, who knows? Maybe we move some stuff around. But X-Drake is slash. Both of them, you know, both 2K counter X-Drakes are slash. It's just a nice card. And at that point, maybe we also more than likely will consider running Dracula Mihawk. This is an 8-cost 8K blocker. Set up to 4 rested Dawn cards as active. I mean, that's insane, guys. Then you can't play out a character that costs 7 or more during this turn, but whatever, man. We're getting down this incredible character right here. There might be something to it. I'm not going to lie. There might be something to, you know, messing with this list in the future and going more into the slash route. And if that's the case, then Perona becomes really nice. However, I don't want to get away from the Supernova thing because of how strong the package, you know, like how strong the synergy is in this package. Last but not least here, I want to talk about this card. This is the new 5-cost 6K Secret Bonnie. It's a 5-cost 6K with a 1K counter, secret rarity. That's why it looks so awesome with that gold border. And it's a blocker, so 5-cost 6K blocker with on play if you have 8 or more rested cards. So that means Dawn cards, character cards, leader cards, everything. If you have 8 or more rested cards, draw 2 cards, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand, then set up to 1 of your Dawn as active. Really, really nice effect here. This is going to go perfectly with Green Yellow Law. So I will say this. So today's video for Green Yellow Laws based on an OP11 list. The next time I mess with Green Yellow Law, which will it'll probably be with an OP12 list. So just give you guys a heads up. Really good stuff here. We will look at the yellow cards, but I don't think there's a whole lot for yellow in this set for Trafalgar Law. Maybe we mess around with Kuma. It's not really what we're going for. It's a first of all, it's not a slash character, so we can't search it up with Perona or anything like that. It's a 7 Warlords and Revo Army character, so it's not a Dressrosa. Excuse me, it's not a it's not a Supernova character. So it's just a good card in general, but I don't know if it's something we want to mess with in Green Yellow Trafalgar Law. It's one of the few decks in the entire game that probably just doesn't care about this new secret rare Kuma. So we'll have to see what happens. There is a new Jewelry Bonnie coming out. This 3-cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter character. Activate main. You may rest this character and up to one of your Supernova type leaders gains plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it'll treat us as a 6,000 power leader. And then trigger, if your leader has the Supernova type, you can just play this card. This card is nice, but it's not really what I think we're going for. I think this card is much better built or catered to, running in Eustace Kid. Because Eustace Kid can stand this card up at the end of the turn with their leader effect. We can't really do that, so I don't think we're going to mess around with this card, to be honest, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to, by all means, try it, but I just don't think it's really good for what we're trying to do. And then last but not least, speaking of, one-cost events like we were talking about earlier, this is a new Supernova Kid Pirates type event. It is a 1-cost 3k for the leader, like a 1-cost 3,000 power counter for the leader, and it's a 1-cost main. You may rest 5 of your Dawn, so it ends up being 6 Dawn. If your leader has the Supernova type, place up to 1 character with a cost of 9 or lower into the owner's top or bottom life cards face down. I try to mess around with this card, guys. Not in today's video, or not with Green Yellow Law, to be honest, but I've tried to mess around with this card a little bit. It was with Eustace Kid was the deck I tried it in. It's not really practical, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's really not all that practical. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section below. All right, that's enough yapping. Let's go ahead and check out this game on the sim. Let's see what it can do. All right, first game up, guys, we have against Blue Purple Luffy. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. All right. We got 3 games on the sim today, guys. We got Blue Purple Luffy, Green Black Perona, and Blackbeard. So we got some fun ones lined up for today. Some good ones. So we're going to go second here, which is what we typically want to do. Let me say that real quick before we go any further. We want to go second as Green Yellow Law. Okay, going second is important because what it allows us to do is go turn 1, play out a 2-cost character, preferably the new Searcher, Kid, and Killer, and then turn 2, we play out the 3-cost Bonnie. You see the Bonnie in our hand? We play out the 3-cost Blocker Bonnie, setting a 5-cost card to our to the top of our life. And then we attach the final Dawn to our leader, pulling back the Searcher and playing out the top card of our life. It's a massive tempo swing, so typically speaking, we want to go second, okay? So we go second. We don't have a really good play. We don't even have any Searchers to play out other than the Bonnie. So we play out the beige, and now we're going to pass the turn back to the Luffy here. Okay, so they're going to swing for 6. I think we are probably going to counter out of this because I need to be able to use my life very aggressively in this game. And it looks like Blue Purple Luffy is going to follow up with a Gear 2 ramp. And now we're going to be on our turn 2. We're going to play out the Bonnie. We're going to set a card to the top of our life. It is the Cavendish. We're going to attack in for 6. Let's see what they do here. Any trigger. A trigger would have been really frustrating because we have exactly 5 Dawns worth of characters on the board. We wouldn't have been able to use that ability right there if he had hit a trigger to get rid of our character. But we're going to pull back the beige, play out the Cavendish from the top of life. We set there with the Bonnie, and that gives us 2 Dawn to use for the turn to play out the beige. Okay, so now we have a pretty decent board here, and we can protect our board very nicely with the beige. Okay, they're on a 6 Dawn turn. Let's see what they do. They're going to swing for 6 into 5. Guys, I think I should give them a 2k counter here. We're going to go ahead and take it. That was a little bit greedy. I think we probably should have taken that. Let's see what they choose to do. Now, they're going to play out a 5-cost Nami. They're playing very defensively, which is probably not a bad idea versus Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law. Green-Yellow Law goes very wide on the board and can be very, very aggressive. Okay? So we're up to our 6 Dawn turn. Let's see what we choose to do here. I think I am actually probably going to go for that Nami. Guys, I need that Nami off the board, and by attacking into it, he doesn't get to draw any cards from his life if I hit, right? So we attack in for 6, we stand some Dawn is active. Now we're going to play out a Luffy, because now we have 3 Dawn. We only had 1 after playing out the 5 cost, but now we have 3 because of the effect. We're going to play out the Luffy, attach a Dawn, swing for 6. We grabbed a Jewelry Bonnie. Okay. And I think we're about to just do a blind rip off the top here. Okay, ends up being a restand Law. Seems good. No complaints here. We'll swing for 6 more into it. I think we might, yeah, just swing for 6 into it. Standing up 2 Dawn. And if they had countered out of that, guys, I was going to swing for 7 with that Jory Bonnie into them. Okay, but now we're just going to leave this active because I don't want them to be able to attack into my Cavendish. And if they attack into my Cavendish for a lot, I'm not going to give them the beige. I have to keep beige on the board. Okay, they only swing for 6, so I probably should have gotten greedier there. They're on their 8 Dawn turn. What are they going to do now? So they're on their 8 Dawn turn. They're going to grab Blade, and I'm just going to use my Capone beige here, and they put my Cavendish and my 5 the restand Law into my life. Now, the weird part about that interaction, Pauls, there was something that happened on the sim we have to talk about. This is an interesting ruling question here. They chose to Gravity Blade my characters, and the sim just threw them into life. I think, would I be able to choose the order in which they go into life since the 2 characters are chosen at the same time? I believe I would be the one who gets to choose the order in which they go into life. Well, guys, I did not get to choose the order. It just threw them directly into my life. And at that point, I was like, wait a minute. Which one's on top and which one's on bottom? I had no idea, right? It was one of those situations where I was confused. I was like, I can't even, properly play this next turn because I don't know which card is on the top or bottom of my life. So again, if anyone knows the official ruling question on that, by all means, please say something in the comment section below. That's a very tricky one there. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and hit play. We're going to be on our 8 Dawn turn here. That was their entire turn. We're going to go ahead and play out the Luffy here. And that's going to help us set things up. So now we're going to play out the 7 cost 9k Law. We're going to put a card into the top of our life. We're going to play out another Cavendish. And now I think we're just going to beat in here. We're going to swing 6, swing 6. Maybe we'll swing 6, swing 7. Or who knows? Maybe we leave 1 Dawn active and we threaten something like a, 1 cost 3k. Maybe we're threatening an L Thor. Who knows what we're threatening, right? You never know. Okay, and we're just going to pass it back. They're down to 1 life. We do have a very strong board. We have 2 blockers. We have a 9k. We have a Cavendish. We have a 5k on the board. And if he attacks into that, we're actually okay with it, right? We're okay with him attacking into our 5k. Why? Why are we okay with that? We don't have any spots on the board left to put characters, right? We have to stop our entire development next turn because our entire board's full. So we're actually just going to let him have the 5,000 power X-Strike there. He did his job. He ate up an attack and everything. Okay, so they're going to put out a 9 cost Charlotte Linlin. Very frustrating card to deal with. They're going to try to put a card into my life. I'm going to choose to do it because they were going to put it on the bottom of my life. So I used my beige effect there to put the Cavendish on top of my life. Okay, so he did use the Cavendish effect there. Very nice. Or excuse me, the Capone beige effect. All right, we're going to start off by playing out a Luffy here. We're going to grab a 2k counter. We are kind of hitting the end of the game here where we have to play things very properly here. We're gonna play out the Cavendish. Okay, pause. A lot's happening here. So I play out the Jory Bonnie, locking down their Dawn. Okay, and remember I played out a 1 cost Searcher Luffy earlier. Now we're gonna how did we get the Cavendish? Oh yeah, excuse me. The beige put the Cavendish into life. We knew what the card was in life. So now we pull back the Luffy, playing out the Cavendish for 1 Dawn, right, and returning a Searcher back to our hand. We play out the Cavendish and gain 2 Dawn. Okay, so now we still have 5 Dawn for the turn. Okay, so here we go. I think we're going to swing 10, swing 10. So notice I'm kind of messing with my Dawn right now. I'm doing a little bit of math. Like, you know what? I'm just going to swing 10, swing 10. Because we played out Jory Bonnie this turn. They only get access to 9 Dawn next turn. They don't get access to 10 Dawn next turn. They only get access to 9. So they can't do like a Sanji plus whatever, or they'll have no Dawn left. Okay? I mean, there are some ways to get around it, I think, because they can play out like a Sanji into Charlotte Linlin, going Dawn -1 and setting their top life card to a trigger that gets them a Dawn back. But generally speaking, it's very hard to get around. Okay, and you have to hopefully see those cards in your top 5 from your leader effect. Okay, so they're on a 9 Dawn turn. Let's see what they do because we locked down one of their Dawn. I'm not going to let them have that. I'm not going to let them have that. 9k Law. Now they bottom decked my beige with a trigger. Guys, they were able to set a trigger there with their 9 cost Linlin. Very annoying. I knew they probably had something there for me, but hey, I mean, I still have to do my attacks. I have to get them down to 0 as much as I can. We're going to swing for 6, and then we're just going to swing for 18. We're just going to call game right here and say, okay, even if you have Gum Gum Giant, I'm swinging 18 into 6. So, and they only have 1 Dawn active. If they use a Gum Gum Giant here, they go to 10k, which, by the way, they don't even have one. How funny is that? Guys, they actually don't even have Gum Gum Giant, but even if they had Gum Gum Giant, let's see what that would have done. So let's just pretend this God Thread is a Gum Gum Giant, and they're going to trash this Katakuri with the effect. Okay, so they go to 10k, and they get 2 random cards. Their top card was a 2k, so that would put them at 10, and then it would be +2 is 12, +2 is 14, +1 is 15, and then even if their next card was a 2K, it doesn't matter. They can't get out of it. So swing 6, swing 18 there. We were just going all in at that point. I think that was our best play. Either way, good game to our opponent there. That was a fun one. Blue-Purple Luffy is a very brutal matchup for anyone, but Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law actually has a pretty solid matchup into Blue-Purple Luffy. Okay? All right, that was the first one versus Blue-Purple Luffy. Now we got a game versus Green-Black Perona. Guys, I was sweating in this one. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. That's right, guys, some Green-Black Perona. I know a lot of people are excited about that new 6-cost Gecko Moria coming out. And who knows, maybe Perona makes a, starts coming back. We'll have to see what happens. I'll tell you what, I really don't like going against Perona as Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law, because they can just rest down every single one of my characters, pretty much. I mean, they'd have to use some cost reduction on my 5-cost stuff, but they could get around quite a bit. Okay, they develop a stage and a Cerberus. And here we go. We develop our Bonnie, but we can't do anything with that. They're going to swing 7 into 5. That was a little bit greedy because I will defend this card from a 4K attack. That's a 4K character. So let's see. They play out the Perona. They fix their hand a little bit. They fill up their trash. They're going to go 4 into 4. And guys, I'm not letting that card go. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not letting that card go. So we go ahead and counter out. We're going to go 4 into 2, though. I bet he doesn't save that. We'll take it. Okay, and now we're not going to attack into that Perona because I don't want him to continuously play that from the trash with his stage to generate card advantage. We're not doing that. Okay, so right here, we're going to go and play out a Jory Bonnie from the top of our life. I think that was just a random pull, guys. I don't even think that was not calculated. We were just seeing what we can get from the top of life. Okay, but we lock down their Dawn. They smash into Beige after tapping it with their leader. We let it go. They're going to swing 5 into 5 here. 5 into 5 here. We're going to 1K count out with that blocker because that blocker is not going to help me much in this game. Okay, because remember, guys, Perona can tap down a 4-cost character, activate main with a leader. Okay, they have an Inupe on the board. I don't want to attack into that. Guys, I don't want to attack into any of these characters. The Inupe has an on KO, an on play, and on KO to draw 2 trash to, and then that Perona can on play to do I think it's a top 5 search, and they can the Thriller Bark stage can pull both of those back from the trash. So I'm not going for their board. It's not happening. All right, we play out the Beige here. We're not actually trying to set up a turn. We're actually just trying to have a character to pull back to use with our Trafalgar Law's effect. So right here, we're going to pull that card back. We're going to, I can't really rest anything down. X-Drake, it's just, I just needed a body on the board in that situation, guys. Let me pause and explain. So right there, I just needed to develop a body. That's it. There was nothing special about that play there. I just needed a body on the board. So I got a 7-cost 9K and a 5-cost 5K for basically 7 Dawn. I got 12 Dawns worth out of just 7 Dawn. So we take it every time. Okay, here we go. So we do have one Dawn open. We can use our event if we need to. Let's see what they choose to do here. Okay, they're going to go 5 into 5. Okay, I'm going to take it. I know that was greedy, but I do not want to give them any of these cards. That X-Drake might come in very clutch later in the game if I need to get around blockers, and I don't want to give them my 2K counters for that or the Kid and Killer I just played to draw cards. That Kid and Killer is going to help me get back in this game. Okay, guys, that card, the Kid and Killer and the Luffy Searcher, they are such insane value in this deck. Look at this, guys. So I play it out. Pause. This is a 10 Dawn turn. I played it out for 2. The Kid and Killer I played out for 2. Then I played out a 5-cost Trafalgar Law to bring it back to hand, right? So that was 3 plus 2, so we're at 7. I've used this Searcher twice now. So I've drawn 2 cards off of that and developed 2 bodies, and now I can still pull the card back to my hand, see what the top card of my life is with my leader effect, and go from there. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pull the card back. Okay, it's a 1-cost event. That changed my turn up a little bit, guys. It's a 1-cost event, so I'm just going to go 6 into 2. That card's gone, and I'm going to go 9 into face. They have 4 cards in hand. They're going down to 1 life. Okay, their turn. I have 2 events. I have access to 2 events if I need them this turn. I have access to 2 events, guys. Okay. Every now and then, something will happen for Green-Yellow Law where I don't see enough of my 5-cost characters. Like, this is a game where I wish I had seen a few more of my 5-cost characters. I'm just not seeing them. Okay, so they swing it. I take it. I'm daring him to swing all out here. I'm saying, go ahead. Number 1, I have a blocker, right? Okay, they're going to swing for 7. Well, here's an event. I was going to use 1 this turn anyway, and it was a perfect counter there for 1 card. And here we go. Now they're going to play out a Rebecca, and watch this, guys. They play out a 5-cost card. Y'all remember this card? 5-cost Sabo. Haven't seen that in a while. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't see that card very often anymore. Okay, pause. Guys, what do y'all do in this situation? I'm about to look through his trash real quick. What do you guys do in this situation? we're in a very weird spot here. Let me tell you, we're in a very weird spot here. Do you choose to go for game here? Or do you choose to go next turn? Do you go for game here or do you go for next turn? All right, here we go. Let's see what I choose here. This is a very interesting situation you can find yourself in. All right, I have insane counter power in my hand, right? Take a look at my hand, guys. I have insane counter power. And you know what I'm going to do now? Watch this. I'm going to put my opponent in a very, very hard spot here. I'm going to put them, you know, in a position they don't want to be in. We're going to swing for 6. They're going to 2K counter out. Oh, okay, thank you. There goes 1 2K from your hand. All right, thank you very much. Actually, you know, thank you very much. So now we're going to swing for 6. Do you have another 2K? All right. They do. They have another 2K for me. I appreciate that. Hey, I appreciate that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pull back the Trafalgar Law. We're going to replay the Law, pulling back the X-Drake, playing out the Kid and Killer. We're going to do a top 5 search. I was looking for a 2K counter, but hey, that's fine. We'll go 9 into 6 now. Hey, do you have 2 more 2K counters in your 3 cards? Absolutely no. No, they do not. And there's no card they can KO on the board with that on KO from the Ryoma. They're going to play out an Uda here. They're going to rest my guy down. They're like, hey, you got... All right, let's see what you got. They're going to swing for 13 into 5. All right, guys. Here we go. 13 into 5. You know, it's where you do a little... let me see what I got here. Yeah, 3, 2, 2, 2. All right, your turn. I think right here they were like... they did one of these, I think, in real life, I think. Who knows? But that was a tough spot to be in. And you know what they didn't see in those 2K counters? My X-Drake. So they know I have the X-Drake still in hand when I pulled it back from the Trafalgar Law. They're probably thinking, oh, great. Okay, I'll make him give me an X-Drake and maybe I can survive 1 turn. They end up tapping out. Nope, we had another X-Drake in hand. We were at 0 life. We could play that out, tap down the Rebecca, and go for lethal. Good game to my opponent. That was a tricky pot. That was a tricky position at the end there, guys. That was a tricky spot. But hey, we were able to beat him down a little bit. Green Black Perona. Who knows, man? Maybe with all the green decks that are starting to pop up now that we're seeing like Green Zoro and OP12, Green Yellow Trafalgar Law like we're playing right now. Who knows? Maybe there could be a modified list that's going to be really good into a list that has, or into a format, into a meta that has a lot of green. Black has always done very well into green. Okay, we got one more game, guys. We got one more game for you. We got a Blackbeard game. No, if you could direct your attention down to the bottom right of the screen here, guys. Yes, this is a 31-minute game. Okay, we're going speed 2x, volumes off, and here we go. Guys, this was a game here. This was a game. All right, they're going to go first. They're going to start off with a, this is my era searcher. I'm going to start off with the Kid and Killer searcher, and we're both off to the races. We're both off to the races. They're filling up their trash. I've got a character on the board that's really nice, and they're going to do some more searching with This Is My Era. They're going to play out the stage. Okay, so this is a great start for them, guys. They're going to use the stage to do some searching, and here we go. They're going to swing for 6 here. I can counter out with that 2K, but I kind of think I might want to use that 2K next turn, okay? So we're going to very greedily take this. It's an 8-cost useless kid, not the best... not what I really want to see right now. Okay, so watch this, guys. We're going to play out the beige to put a Cavendish into our life. We're going to play out a 2-cost beige. We're going to pull back the 2K counter, playing out the Cavendish, and then we're going to follow up with the searcher here, probably 2 searchers. I'm going to swing for 6 first to see what they do, and then I'm probably going to play out my my double searchers here to fix my hand. Right here, I had a choice between grabbing the Cavendish or a 2K counter. I grab a 2K counter because our hand is almost completely bricked right now. Okay, here we go. They play out a Kuzan. We did the other searcher as well, too, so I think we grabbed... I couldn't see what it was. I think it was one of our 5-cost cards. So they play out a Kuzan here. Let's see what they choose to do. Okay. So they are going to swing for 5 here, and then we're just going to 1K counter out. In this matchup, that 5-cost restand law is not great, so we go ahead and just give them the 1K counter and go from there. Okay, they did turn off our on-play effects this turn with their leader effect. We're going to pull back a 1-cost Luffy, one of the searchers, and we're just going to play out Trafalgar Law. We just need to have a body on the board. We're going to swing 6, swing 7. We have 1 Dawn is active we can use with Gum Gum Red Hawk here, and here we go. All right, here we go. They're going to just go ahead and use the Kuzan right away. I think that's because they don't want me to use one of these cards. But watch this, guys. They just go ahead and... push a Cavendish into my life with the Van Augur and the Teach. I was kind of surprised by that at first. I thought maybe this is like a newer player. But I don't think so, guys. I think that was all very, very deliberate. Because watch this. Yes, they could have got rid of my beige, but then I get to keep a Cavendish on the board for another turn. And if they turn off my on-play effects, they're not really too upset about that. So we're going to block out. I think they should have attacked in, guys, earlier with that Kuzan. Maybe they were not aware that they can do that and still use the effect. Guys, that 5-cost Kuzan can still use his activate main even if he's rested. Okay, so here we go. It's my turn. We're on an 8-Dawn turn here. And I'm not a huge fan of what I see on the board. I'm really not a huge fan of what I see on the board. So we're going to swing 8 into 6 here to try to get some cards from hand. And then I think, guys, honestly, this isn't the best play I've ever had, that's for sure. But I think I go just straight up 10 into the Teach. And looking back, I think this was a good turn for me to just swing 6 into that card. Just swing 6 into the Van Auger and see what they do. Maybe they take a card from hand and save it, or maybe they let it go, and then I should just develop the 8 cost. I think that's what I should have done looking back, because guys, they're only on 9 Dawn this turn. They can't even play out their 10 drop. However, depending on what kind of cards they're running, they could have just removed my Eustace Kid. Well, actually, they probably couldn't have because I had the beige on the board. See, that's where last turn, pause. I did mess up right here, guys. I forgot to play out. Hang on. Right here, guys, I forgot to pull back a card to play out the Cavendish. Hang on. Did we mess up there, guys? I think we messed up. We actually have to go back right now. We have to go back right now and analyze this. So that kind of makes up for one error they had, right? Like, they messed up on their turn not swinging with the, let me hit play. They didn't swing with that Kuzan from last turn, but then this turn, watch this. They play out the Van Auger. They play out the Marshall D. Teach. They try to KO my Cavendish. I save it with beige and bring it into life. And watch this, guys. On this turn, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Remember, guys, I swing for 8 into the, I swing for 8 into Van Auger. And then I swing 10 into this Teach, and I forgot to pull back my 1-cost Luffy to play out my Cavendish. Holy cow, guys. That is why it's a really good idea to rewatch your games. I didn't catch that when I was playing the game. I completely forgot to pull back the Monkey D. Luffy to replay out the Cavendish. That was a strict blunder. Guys, that was a strict blunder. Whoopsie daisy. Man, how funny is that? I did not even realize that when I was playing the game. Okay, so here we go. They did save the Teach, though. I swung 10 into it, and they were saving it with a 2K. They saved it with a 2K, 1K. They're going to go ahead and use a Tempest Kick here to minus my guy and try to KO it. It's going to go right to life because I have Capone Beige on top of my life. Okay. Now, let's see what they choose to do here. Okay, they still have 8 Dawn to work with. Because like I said, this was a turn where if I was playing correctly, I probably should have just developed the Eustace Kid. Look at that, guys, and then they play out the Teach. So now we know that was just a straight-up blunder, because they should have KO'd the beige first and then KO'd my other guy, where it wouldn't have gone to my life. Either way, hey, it happens. Me and this guy are making mistakes left and right, so that just makes it balanced, right? That just makes it even. All right, either way, good, really good stuff here. Very educational, right, guys? All right, here we go. Now I can't really develop, I can't really develop my 8-cost Eustace Kid now. I just missed my opportunity. And in the game of One Piece, that happens a lot. You have an opportunity to do things, and if you miss that opportunity, that's that. So we swing 10 into 8. They let the Teach go. I know they have a 10-cost Teach in hand. They did reveal that earlier in the game. I haven't really been paying attention to what all they've been drawing as we've been going through these, as we've been going over the review here, or the recap or whatever. However, when I was playing the game, I definitely saw what they were doing, and I was paying attention to every card they were drawing, because it was very important to this game. So here we go. They're going to trash the Kuzan. They're going to go ahead and grab a card from that. That was with their stage. They trashed the Kuzan with their stage to do a top 3 search. They play out stronger. They're going to -2 to my Cavendish, and they're going to be able to KO it with the Teach, the 7-cost Teach. Seems good, guys. This is a nightmare. This is a really, really rough matchup for Green-Yellow Law. Okay? And then they're going to play out the Kuzan, and they have 4 Dawn left to work with for the turn. They're going to swing for 9 into 5. I probably should have let this one go through. I probably should have let it go through, but I use a 2K and a 2K here, I think, to get out of this, and then it's going to be my turn. Let's see if they use the Kuzan for anything here. They're going to trash a card from their hand to lock down my own plays, and that was a very smart thing to do. Let me tell you right now, guys, that was a very smart thing to do. So we're going to swing 8 into 8 here. They let the card go. That was really nice for us. And now in this situation here, honestly, this is another opportunity I got to play out the 8-cost Eustace Kid. They grab back the 7-cost again, but watch this, guys. I want to develop more stuff on the board and attack more aggressively. I'm going to, looks like I'm going to play out the Luffy here, pull it back to see what my top card is. It's a Bonnie. I already knew what that was. And then I'm going to swing for 6 here. They get a trigger to do a top 3 search with the This Is My Era. And again, guys, that was another turn where I could have developed an 8-cost Eustace Kid, and I think I should have. I think even if I didn't put any Dawn on it, it doesn't matter. Just getting that massive body on the board, it's one of my only chances right now. It's one of my only chances. All right, here we go. Let's see what they choose to do here. They have 10 Dawn. Is it time to establish a 10-cost Marshall D Teach? It might be time. It might be time to establish the big boy here. And remember, guys, we are watching this in 2x speed. There's still 20 minutes left, so there's still 10 minutes left in 2x speed. This is a rough spot to be in for them because I do have a lot of attacks on the board. So they go ahead and shut down 1 attack. They're going to shut down 2 attacks ultimately because they have the blocker as well. And here we go. Okay, so they're going to swing 5. I don't know why they chose to lock down the one that can't block. I think that must have just been a play mistake there. Who knows? But we're going to 1K counter out. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to block. Because, hey, if you're going to give me the opportunity, of course I'm going to take it. Okay, so they attack in for 5 there. We block out. They get rid of the Kuzan. They're going to bring back a 5-cost or lower Blackbeard Pirates type card from their trash. I think it's going to be a Van Augur. And, guys, I know they have the 7-cost. I know they have a 7-cost Teach in their hand. And I don't mean that like intuitively. I mean, I saw them search that up earlier or get it back from the trash from one of the other 7-cost teaches. Okay, so here we go. We do get to attack in for free here with our leader. We get to swing in for 5 or 6 here just as a free attack with our leader because if they turn that Marshall D Teach sideways, I'm loading everything on my blocker Law and I'm swinging into it. They're not keeping that card. So we're going to do a face check for 5 right here. Okay, quick little face check. They're probably going to give me a 1K counter. Whoa, they took that? That is scary for them. That is a very scary spot to be in for them. Okay, we're going to finally develop a Eustace Kid. They're developing big bodies. We got to develop big bodies to fight fire with fire here. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to tap this down, cheat out probably nothing. We're probably not going to cheat any of these cards out because remember, we don't have any on play effects active because of their leader effect. Okay, here we go. We have the 8-cost down. I know they have a 7-cost. I know they have 7-cost Teach in hand. They're gonna play out Stronger. Uh-oh, guys, that's not good. They're gonna use this Stronger here to activate main, trash it, and trash a card to draw a card and give -2 to my character, -3 of Van Augur, and then KO a 3 or less with the Teach. Oh dear, oh dear. This is not looking good for us, guys. This is not looking good. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna get out of this? And they keep turning off our on-play effects. Guys, if they were not turning off all of our on-play effects, we could just run them over on this next turn here. But watch this, guys. Oh, I have to explain something. They leave 2 Dawn active this turn because I know what's in their hand. Okay, I know what's in their hand. I go ahead and block out of this. They have, they revealed it in, what did they get it back with? I can't remember. I think they got it with like a... I don't know if they searched it up or got it back with a Teach or something. I can't remember however they got it, but I know for a fact they have the 2-cost Black Spiral event in hand. They're going to go 12 and a 6. Okay, that card's gone, but now I do get a open attack straight into their leader here, right? Okay, here we go. I know they have the 2-cost event. So what we're going to choose to do here, we have to play around that to the best of our ability. Okay, they did activate their leader effect. We don't have access to any on plays, but here we go. We're going to swing for 5. We're going to swing for 6 here, guys. Trust me. Hey, just trust me, all right, guys? Just trust me. I think it's the only chance we have. We're going to have to swing for 5, swing for 6 here, okay? And then we get to develop a Eustace Captain Kid and force them to get rid of that next turn. Here we go. Swing for 5. Give me your cards. Gimme, 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 gimme. Give me all those cards. Okay, they did. They gave me a 1K counter. Now we're going to swing for 6. They have that 2-cost event still. Watch this. They end up using it. We're not too worried about it, though. Okay, we knew they had it. We had to get it out of hand. Now they only have 1 card in hand. We've whittled down their hand, and we have a way to at least survive next turn. We're going to play out this Eustace Captain Kid here, attach a Dawn, rest it down. I don't think we're going to play anything from that because, again, we want as much counter power in our hand as possible. But we probably should have played out like a 2-cost Kid and Killer there. I think that was technically a play mistake because I don't think they can get through everything, guys. I think just playing out a Kid and Killer here would have been the right thing to do. Okay, but that's all right. Here we go. This turn right here, guys, now my opponent is taking quite a bit of time here, and I'm not saying that like in a mean or offensive way, but they are using up a lot of time. That will come to play later in the game. We'll talk about that as we get to the towards the end of the game. They play out another Marshall D. Teach. Oh, dear. They're going to lock down my 8-cost Eustace Kid. Now I can't do anything with that. Let's see what they choose to do here. They still have Van Augur. They're going to go 12 into 6. Okay, well, you can have that. That one you can have. I expected him to go 12 into 8. I think going 12 into 8 would have been a good play there. But hey, that's fine. So here we go. They swing in for 5. We're just going to give him a 1K counter because now we have to try to play until next turn. They don't even attack with the Van Augur, which I thought was a little bit suspicious. I don't think that was the right call because I can't swing into that. If I swing into that, I'm going to give them cards, right? Who knows? Maybe they're setting up for next turn to get around my blocker or something. I'm not exactly sure. I think they should have attacked with Van Augur. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, wait, what's this? They didn't use their leader effect? You don't say. All right, well, let me go ahead and play this the right way here. Watch this, guys. All right, so Jewelry Bonnie locking down Marshall D. Teach. Okay, that Teach is not going to restand now. How do I get out of this situation? Guys, how do I get out of this? I'm going to play out the Law. I'm going to pull back the Bonnie, play out the Kidding Killer, grabbing a 2K counter, and then I'm just going to pass the turn. I can't swing. It won't do anything, right? I played out that Kidding Killer for a reason. That has a when attacking effect to allow me to stand a Dawn as active. It's my only chance right here. It's my only chance. They have 4 attacks. I have a blocker, 3 life, and I do potentially have the ability to get out of this. So we're going to get rid of that card, standing up a Dawn. For anyone who might be thinking, like, well, why didn't they KO that first with the Marshall D. Teach? Well, if they had done that, then I wouldn't have had to use it anyway because they'd only have the 3 attacks, right? So again, I wasn't really worried about that. If they want to use Van Augur and Marshall D. Teach to get rid of my Trafalgar Law, that doesn't really help them, right? That doesn't actually help them that much here. In fact, it allows me to play even more defensively going into next turn, potentially if the option comes up. So they are going to still do that. They're still going to play Van Augur, or they're going to tap Van Augur, tap down Teach, and get rid of my Law. And they're going to play out Burgess. They're going to play out Katarina Devon, and they have no cards left in hand. In this situation right here, it would be nice to have like a, you know, if how do I say this? If I had Hody Jones right here, the game's just over, right? If I had Hody Jones right here, the game's just over because I could rest down both blockers, swing 7, swing 9, good game. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the end of the video here. Because remember, guys, I was saying I only want to run 1 Eustace Captain Kidd as opposed to, 2 of them. Just run one Eustace Captain Kidd and go up like 2 or 3 of the Hody Jones. All right, we're going to play out the 7-cost Law here. We're going to gain a life, attach a Dawn to our leader. We're going to smash in for... in fact, I think we're just going to swing 6 because he has to respect it. He doesn't have a choice, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to play out the Luffy here. We're going to grab a 2K counter. We just have to survive, right? We just have to survive till next turn here. That's all we have to do is survive. And remember, we put a 5-cost Bonnie into our life to lock down that Teach again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're going to pull back the Luffy. We're going to play out the Bonnie, locking down that Teach again. I think we're going to play out the Luffy again just to try to get as much counter power as we can. We're going to grab a 2K counter. We're going to grab the green X-Drake. So now they're not even safe from that. Like now even Katarina Devon can't help them out, right, if we need to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and play this here. We're not giving them any cards right here. I'm not attacking with anything. I'm literally just using my Eustace Captain Kidd here as a blocker like what he's supposed to be, right? Okay. They're going to go 12 into 8. Guys, they're going to go 12 into 8. And what I choose to do here is go ahead and cash in on the beige because think about it, they could have used the Marshall D. Teach right here to get rid of my beige. Now, I can get out of this attack if I need to, right? I can get out of this attack if I need to, but I'm doing a little bit of math right now. Like, wait a minute. That Katarina Devon can still turn on double attack and swing in for 9. So I have to be very careful here. They're going to go 13 into 8. Okay, yep. He's out of here, buddy. He is out of here. You can have him. I can't save that. I've got 2 life left, and here we go. Okay, let's see what they choose to do. Remember, they can swing for 9 with double attack with that Katarina Devon. They're going to trash a card and do a search. They search up a Burgess. Okay, that is very important information for what's about to happen. I know they have a 1K counter in hand. They're going to swing for 8 here. They're going to make Katarina Devon into a blocker. And here we go, guys. I'm going to start off with a 7K attack. It's going to go through. They did not use their leader effects because they literally, you know, they basically couldn't do that, right? Because I can just swing through with everything here. And here we go. I'm going to swing. Now, we do have a slight play mistake here, but it doesn't matter that much because watch this. Watch what's about to happen. A very strange thing is about to happen here. Swing 7. They quit? No, they did not quit. They ran out of time. They ran out of time, and that's why I just simply went, okay, just attack for 7, GG, because they had like 1 second left on the clock. This was a play mistake. Let me be very clear with everyone. This was a play mistake that would have probably cost me the game doing this. Like, this basically cost me the game right here because they would go 2K, 1K to get out of this if they had more time. But again, like I said, I saw their clock and I just attacked in. Game was over. They didn't have enough time. So it was like, okay, I'm just going to swing for 7 and go game. But that was technically a play mistake. I should have swung for 8, played out the 5-cost restand law to stand up the Bonnie, swing for 8 because I have 1 Dawn left at that point to swing for 8 and then swing for 9. Good game. So we did have them there technically on the math. But man, what a game. Good game to my opponent. That was a crazy one, guys. It just kept going back and forth. 30-minute game, but I will say this, they were taking a little bit too much time. They might have been a newer player. We saw plenty of mistakes. Hey, I made mistakes in that one too, right? It's not just my opponent on this one. But hey, incredible game to my opponent there. What a awesome game. Very tough matchup for Green Yellow Trafalgar Law, though. I will say that this is not our favorite matchup to see. Okay? All right, good game. Now, let's check out the deck list one more time, and then we will start wrapping this up. Okay, so I have to say right now, guys, that I think we need to go back to good old Hody Jones. I think Hody Jones is the answer still when it comes to green. Like I think the one thing I want to do for sure is go probably, I mean, maybe even just -2 of the -2 of the, what's his name, the Eustace Captain Kidd, and just go +2 Hody Jones. But remember what I was saying, like, nah, we have to at least run at least one Eustace Captain Kidd. So this is kind of where I'm at right now, where I want to go from here and build off this. I think we need to keep 1 Eustace Captain Kidd, but then I think we need to go up to like +2 of the Hody Jones. And who knows, maybe we just go -2 of this Gum Gum Red Hawk. But at the same time, it did help me, guys. This card was definitely helping me out big time. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. Maybe we don't have enough room in the deck anymore for the Bonnie. Like maybe we go -2 Bonnie just to go up 2 more Hody Jones. Or maybe +1 Hody Jones and +1 Eustace Kidd, something like this. I would say +2 Hody Jones altogether though, like make it where there's 3. Because this card we can't search up, whereas we can search our deck like crazy with our Kidding Killer and our Monkey D. Luffy if we just absolutely need a Eustace Captain Kidd. But Hody Jones we can't search up, and every time we do a search we could potentially go over it. So who knows, maybe we even need to go down to like 3 of the 7-cost Law and have 4 of Hody Jones just in case we start searching over it. But I do think that, let me say another thing, okay, Blackbeard is not a good matchup for us, right? Blackbeard is a strong matchup against any yellow deck because it's Blackbeard, and then any green deck because it's black, right? And this is a green-yellow deck. So Blackbeard is a really tough matchup for us. But I'll say this, I do think that Hody Jones is like our absolute best card against that deck. Because if they turn off our on-play effects with their leader effect, okay, check out this card, guys. I have it up on the left here. I still am a 7-cost, 8,000 power rush card. So I can just start slamming these and turning them sideways and going to town like that. And this is also an incredible card against something like Blue-Purple Luffy. So I will say I want to go up to at least 3 Hody Jones, but I'm also kind of leaning in the ballpark of having 4 of them. Because like I said, if you start searching over them, yeah, that's not good. That's not good, guys, if you start searching over it. That's really bad. Another thing is this Red Hawk. I don't know if this is the right call, guys. In fact, I think the card to go there is that, I think it's called like Gatling. Yeah, this one, Gum Gum Elephant Gatling. I think this might be the card that I go back to. I was trying out the Red Hawk, but this is searchable. It's a one. They're both 1-cost 3Ks. That part doesn't change. But this one also seems like it's more useful for what I'm trying to do. I still like to play this deck fairly aggressively. You do have to play this deck at least a little bit aggressively, right? There is something to it with the way the leader is where you do have to play a little bit aggressively because you're taking your own life cards. And especially if we're going up Hody Jones, that takes life cards as well. So it's one of those things where, but see, and then there's another reason why we should probably run more Eustace Kidds. It's a tough balance, guys. We're going to have to try and figure this out together. And I know there's decks running this over in the East that are doing very well, right? But yeah, that's we'll save that for another video. Whenever I go over the OP12 version, I'll probably bring up in that video a green-yellow Trafalgar Law list that won a big championship over in the East. But again, that's for another video. For the time being, let me at least leave it like this, guys. This is where I'll probably leave the list. I'll go 2 Eustace Kids, I'll go 3 Trafalgar Law, and 3 Hody Jones. And then I'm just going to say this, guys. It's your preference. Which one costs 3K do you want to run in this spot? You can run literally whichever one you want to. I'm just going to put them all on here. There's the Gum Gum Gatling. Let me bring up the other one cost events here for green and yellow. So you can run this card. You can run, what was the other one? This one's coming out in OP12. Okay, Dead Man's Game. Then there's also 2 Sword Style Rashamon, or however you say that. This is another one coming out. This KOs up to 2 of your... KO up to 2 rested characters with an original cost of 4 or less, so that's another consideration. And then yellow has Slam Gibson, and then yellow also has Red Hawk. So there's really 5 incredible options for green and yellow right now, but the only ones that are supernova searchable are actually Elephant Gatling and Slam Gibson. The others are just Straw Hat. Like Dead Man's Game, Rashamon, and Red Hawk, these are Straw Hat only, whereas Slam Gibson and Elephant Gatling are supernova. And Elephant Gatling's actually Straw Hat as well. Very cool. Okay. Well, that's about it for that, guys. Like I said, for the time being, I think I am just going to leave up the 2 that I had, is these Elephant Gatlings, but you can do whatever you want with that spot in the deck. Well, that's it, guys. I'm done. That's enough yapping for today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get the outro page on here. We do stream still, guys. For those who might be new to the channel, I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here on YouTube on the VV Theory channel from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Okay, so we'll be on tonight talking about some One Piece for sure. At least tonight at the time you're recording this video. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, like I was saying, guys. If you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, you're helping me out big time. I really appreciate it. If you're using my TCG Player affiliate link, that helps me out big time as well. If you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, part of the Discord community, however you're helping me out, guys, or however you're helping out the One Piece TCG community, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.